You know that feeling, right? You're trying so hard to be mindful, to sit with some discomfort, but your brain is just begging for an escape. Well, today we're jumping right into that exact struggle. And believe me, the answer is way more liberating than you think. And this question, this is why we're here. It's from someone who feels guilty, who's worried they're failing at mindfulness just because they'd rather watch a TV show than stare down their leg pain. And it's such a brilliant question because it gets right to the heart of what we think we're supposed to be doing. Okay, so here's our roadmap. We're going to start with this classic dilemma, then we'll bust a huge myth about having to face your pain. After that, we'll get into the answer, which is basically permission to be a normal human and a technique to make it work. And then we'll uncover the real goal of all this. Hint, it's probably not what you're expecting. So let's just picture this for a second. You're trying to practice, you've got this nagging pain in your leg, and every book and teacher you've ever heard says just sit with it, observe it, but your mind is just fried. It's done. And this is exactly where that internal battle starts. You have the I should be focusing on this pain voice, and then you have the much louder I just want to watch something voice. This little war in your head is exhausting, and it can make you feel like you're totally failing at this whole meditation thing. Which brings us to this giant myth that's floating around out there. This idea that the only right way to do this is to grit your teeth, force all of your attention onto that pain, and just stare it down with pure willpower until it finally gives up and disappears. And here's the difference, plain and simple. On one side, you've got this really tough, punishing rule we put on ourselves. Distraction is failure. But the truth, it's so much kinder. It's not about winning some kind of staring contest with your own body. You don't have to focus on just one thing. I mean, let's be real. This is where that rigid, stare-it-down method just completely falls apart. What if your pain lasts for an hour or two? Is your life just supposed to stop? You can't do anything else? No, of course not. That's not living. That's just not practical. And here we go. This is the big reveal. The whole point of mindfulness isn't to put your life on pause. It's about weaving this quality of awareness into the life you're already living. And step one is giving yourself permission to just live it. This right here, this is the whole message. It's not about running away from reality. It's about embracing all of it. You can have a sore leg and want to watch a show. Both things can be true at once. The real practice is just in how you pay attention to both. So yeah, here it is. This is your permission slip. Go ahead, press play. You're not cheating. Watching TV isn't a break from your practice. Actually, it's about to become the perfect place for your practice. Okay, you might be thinking, so how does that even work? You're not ignoring the pain, but you're not totally lost in the show either. Well, it's this really cool, gentle back and forth. It's a technique you could call alternating awareness. And it's actually super simple. First, you just acknowledge the pain. Yep, leg hurts, got it. Then, you press play. Now, as you're watching, you just have this gentle intention in the back of your mind. Don't completely forget the pain is there. It can just be a tiny signal in the background. That's perfect. The real practice is just noticing how your attention naturally dances between the show and your leg. In fact, let's try it right now. As I'm talking, just bring some awareness to the soles of your feet. Can you feel the ground or your shoes? Okay, now keep listening to me, but just don't forget about your feet. See that? Your attention can hold both. One's in the foreground, one's in the background. That's it. That's alternating awareness. And practicing this leads to something so much deeper, because the goal was never really about making the pain disappear. The real goal is way, way cooler. It's about getting a front row seat to see how your own mind actually works. This introduces us to a fundamental idea, arising and ceasing. Think about it. When you're totally hooked by what's happening on TV, the leg pain hasn't magically gone away. It has just ceased from your awareness. The second you think, oh right, my leg, it arises again. It's this constant natural flow. You know, when you're just focused on that pain, it feels like it's everything. Your whole identity becomes the person with the hurting leg. It feels so solid, so permanent, like it's your entire world. But then, boom, a moment later, you're laughing at a joke on the show, and that whole reality is gone. You're now the series watcher. The pain has vanished from your mind. And that proves that your sense of you isn't this fixed, solid thing at all. It's constantly shifting and changing. So you see, the win here isn't getting a pain-free leg. The win is seeing this constant change happening. The goal is to witness your mind jump around and to realize, hey, I'm not the pain, and I'm not the TV show. I'm the awareness that's watching both come and go. That observation, that's how you cultivate mindfulness, what's called sati, and that itself is what leads to wisdom or pana. Okay, let's wrap this all up. The really big takeaway here is this complete flip in how we think about mindfulness. Your messy, complicated, sometimes painful, distraction-filled life isn't getting in the way of your practice. Your life is the practice. So please, stop treating mindfulness like another chore on your to-do list, another thing you have to get right or control. It's not that. It's more like a gentle, curious quality of attention that you can bring to anything. Watching TV, doing dishes, feeling your leg hurt, it's about seeing, not fixing. And that's the question I want to leave you with. What would happen if you just stopped trying so hard to control everything you feel and think, and instead just got really curious about watching it all unfold? The answer might just be the very freedom you've been looking for. Thanks for joining this explainer.